What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Neptunes Sunday.
You're
Thank you to everyone that took the time to listen to the first episode. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. Hopefully, you discovered some songs or found out info about songs that you didn't know. It's crazy. One of my best friends that I talked to this week, he asked me what inspired me to do it, and I was just basically like being bored during the pandemic and making and watching verses and watching Drink Champs. So hopefully you guys see that inspiration in the episodes. We wanted to get things started with an episode that kind of talked about the beginning and set you up for, almost gave you a history lesson so you know where we're going with it and give you some background on Neptunes. But we wanted to make sure we follow that episode up with a banger. So for this Sunday, for our first episode that is dedicated to frequent Neptunes collaborators, instead of just running through one person, one artist collabs, we're actually going to do it versus style. That's why I mentioned that earlier. And Vogue and I are going to battle two of the greats. And hopefully, after saying that, you already know who these people are. But we'll be representing Mr. Carter, Hove, aka Jay-Z, and Vogue will be representing the Dog Father himself, Uncle Snoop.
Snoop Dogg.
So we're going to go 7 songs each. The catch here, neither one of us know what the other person's gonna play, so you'll get the live reactions, totally unscripted, which is gonna make this fun.
I'm actually kind of nervous. I'm excited.
It's gonna be great. And so, ladies first, Vogue, what you got?
All right. And I do want to say there will still be plenty of music history in these conversations. But my first song, so this song is from the Neptunes Presents Clones. And funnily enough, like I didn't realize when Snoop started collaborating with the Neptunes that like he was coming out of this really like weird fucking No Limit era where nobody was fucking with him anymore and thought his career was over. So I think it's kind of amazing, or it was amazing to witness like how his career blossomed after that. And this song, which you already know what song I'm talking about, it's the only Snoop song on the album, It Blows My Mind. It has like one of those minimalist beats, puts you in the same kind of mind of grinding. It has like this really tinny sound that's pretty cool. And Snoop was really going from being this gangsta gin and juice guy to I'm more of a pimp, I'm a mainstream artist in my own right. And it heralded his 2004 transition to Star Trek, which of course is headed by the Neptunes. So without further delay, I'm gonna play my jam.
You should smoke with me.
Yeah, man, I remember when that came out. I mean, Clones, that was definitely one of the bigger deal when it came out for me as a huge Neptunes fan when I was running into senior year of high school, like, and that was one of the biggest songs on that album.
Yeah.
A lot of tracks on there that are kind of slept on, but
yeah,
nice. That's a nice first song there. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
What you got?
So for my first song, I'm just gonna play. Here we go.
You gotta puff it on this one.
So, I think that song has the blueprint, pun intended.
Yeah.
For what successful Neptunes and J collabs look like, right? It's got this smooth signature sound, high quality whole bars on there. Pharrell doing his falsetto thing on the hook. I think this video is also kind of like one of the first that was Jay-Z putting us in this grown and sexy feel.
Yeah.
Club got Rockefeller State Property crew in there with their suits on, looking crazy. Beans and Owen Sparks and DJ Clue and those guys. So the grown and sexy flow was definitely there. I did read some stuff that said that this is one of the subliminal love letters to Beyonce.
Okay.
So I didn't really catch until I read that, and it makes sense. And as you think about that time and some of the other songs that came out around that time, definitely makes sense for that to be what this song is about. So yeah,
it does.
I think
It's one of my favorites too. You got to put the gunshots or something on this because you came out with the heat. But I think it's interesting the way that both of them kind of like use the Neptunes to change their image as rappers. And I think it's the same conversation we were having with ODB of, you know, at this point, people know who the Neptunes are. And I think even at that, having these really established 10 plus year in the game rappers saying like, I'm gonna collab with these guys, these weird ass niggas, and not only am I gonna collab with them, I'm gonna keep collabing with them. I'm going to, like, when you pull up the Neptunes Wikipedia, it's like associated with Snoop Dogg. So I think that's pretty cool.
Right, for sure.
Ready for the next song?
Let's go.
We do this in our sleep, nigga.
That Girl, that's from In My Mind 2006. I think we're gonna have this moment in every episode where I talk about what I did choreography to. Yes, I did choreography to this song. And I actually think that I did the choreography for Vaughn's cousin. So that's kind of a fun story. But actually I don't have a lot of notes about this song. I just love this song so much. And I think that for it to be Pharrell's the first solo project, it's one of two. It doesn't get enough love, and I think for a while it wasn't even on streaming. So I mean, I just love this song. I love the strings. It makes you feel good.
Yes, this is definitely one of my favorites too. Definitely one of the highlights from that album. I mean, it was obviously that was a big deal for people like us who are fans of them. For Pharrell to have his own solo album and just the time. Like obviously at some point we'll do a episode dedicated to that album, but just the out to that and the build up and doing the Gangsta Grills and all that, and how the album is kind of split with this hip hop side, but then also this kind of smooth R&B side. Like one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah.
All right. So my next song is. I'm pretty sure this is our first reference to 4 Count Pete, right?
Yeah.
This song I think is probably underrated. Obviously, it's a great collaboration between these two, between Jay and the Neptunes. I think most people love American Gangster as an album. People arguably a top 5 Jay album. It's made sense for it to be the third single. When you think about all the other songs that people really love from the album, they didn't make sense as singles, right? Because at the time, radio and club response was still important. So a song like this where you can get like I said, the blueprint to a Neptunes and Jay-Z song where you can come out in 2-step and you got Pharrell. I think this definitely made sense as a single and definitely kind of is an underrated track on the album, even though it was a single. Obviously, the video too helped reinforce just the fact that the song, I think it's another reason why I think it's underrated is because people don't get the metaphor of the song, right? Like the metaphor between music and drugs and love and all that. You get that if you pay attention to the lyrics, but you definitely get it when you watch the video with Zoe Kravitz. So the combination of those two, I think the video, the metaphor, help it stand out to me in the list of Jay-Z collaborations.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my top 5 Jay songs. And maybe coming from my favorite Jay album, I did a Black movie bracket, and that won actually for soundtrack. So huge fan.
Yeah, and it's crazy to go back and listen to that and think about like how this man just made an album according to a movie that was like just on his own. Like like that makes sense.
Yeah, and then I feel like it set the tone for people like Kendrick to do what he did with Black Panther. Like people just weren't doing that.
Right. Look at this guy Jay-Z being revolutionary.
As always. I got my next song. Let's hear it. Yeah, so California Roll. A lot of the songs that I picked are from the same moment in time, like the early aughts. But this song is actually from 2015, the Bush album, which is something like I used to put on repeat. I love that album. and it was entirely produced by P. I actually struggled not to put Peaches and Cream, which is on the same album and arguably more popular, but it's fucking Stevie Wonder playing harmonica on a Snoop Dogg song. How do you not love that?
That is a it's a big deal.
Yeah, the video itself is iconic. It has the whole like Afro-futuristic. They have Egyptian symbols with flying cars. Yeah, I love this song, and it's no secret I love weed, so it's a great tribute song.
Peaches and Cream is definitely the more popular song, and then that reason I think, it's probably my first, won't be my last Entourage reference here. Shout out to there. But there's a scene in the movie, the Entourage movie, when they play Peaches and Cream that's like perfect. Like they're having a party, and that visual is stuck in my head when I hear that song. And I mean, the Bush album itself is very underrated too. Like
it is.
I mean, I don't know if you have any more Bush songs in your playlist, but the song with Snoop, Rick Ross, and Kendrick on the Bush, very strong. It's very solid.
I love that album.
It's a solid, who would have thought you would have these three dudes on this Neptune song in 2015, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, it has a lot of great features on that album.
Song number, we're on 3. I'm on 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first off, it's another 4-count P.
Yeah.
Which is like a big deal. On this song, I think it perfectly builds up the energy that you're getting with the song. 4-count and a heavy drop. The fact that this is technically like, I wouldn't say a remix, but they call this Excuse Me Miss Again, which is like dope to me. This as a bonus track when they released Blueprint 2.1 definitely helped Jay-Z ride a wave that year from 2002 to 2003 when there was so much, he was everywhere. And like Blueprint 2, Blueprint 2, everyone will say it's got great songs on it, but it has too many songs, right?
Yeah.
So whoever came up with the idea to condense it into the Blueprint 2.1 and then add these other songs, add this song, add Stop, produced by Swizzy, and even the Punjabi MC remix, which is crazy.
Oh my God.
Right. So, that helped with all the other stuff they had going on, with features for other people's, including an important feature in summer 2003 with Beyonce.
The one and only.
Crazy in Love, right? So yeah, I think 2002, 2003 is probably a big time for both Neptunes and Jay. I mean, this song was a single on Bad Boys 2, which was probably one of the top 5 summer too, which was just a big deal. So the energy in that song made it one of my favorites from jump. Like we were heavy into the download days back in 2002, 2003. So as soon as I I was everywhere trying to get the CD quality version for it. But this is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, shout out to LimeWire. I laughed during the song because this is another song I did choreography to, except I cut it and I mixed it with Candy Shop. So it was a Candy Shop beat with these lyrics. It was fire. If I can ever find the video, I'll put it out in like our show notes.
Listen, we're gonna find these videos of you talking about doing choreography, and we're gonna put them on YouTube, and you're gonna be either super happy or super embarrassed.
I'm okay with either, honestly. All right, next track.
I'm not sure of what I see.
Yes.
We've made it to RNG from 2004, 2005. That was largely produced by the Neptunes, and actually another frequent collaborator with the Neptunes, Justin Timberlake, which I know some of us don't fuck with him too heavy right now, but he was in there. I love this. It like feels big. It feels like Hollywood. We have Charlie motherfucking Wilson, who's an
Uncle
important player. I actually found out while I was researching. I didn't realize that Snoop was the one who nicknamed him Uncle Charlie. So that is why we all call him Uncle Charlie today. And actually, like, they have a really close relationship. I was doing some reading on Charlie Wilson's site, and apparently Snoop and his wife got their vows renewed, like at his ranch in like 2008. And the video for another song was like a gift to them, which I actually will talk about that song later. So I'm gonna just not mention it right now.
Wow. Okay.
But great song.
Dropping gems out here. Yeah, I think Uncle Charlie, like the way that Uncle Charlie has, from that time, progressed and continued to show up over a few decades, in after having his own career and part of, you know, that time period, and then having a strong presence in the hip hop and R&B community.
Yeah.
Our era is a big deal. I mean, to even be on Tyler's album I guess not last year. Pandemic's got my time since all over, but you know what I'm saying.
Like,
that was
he's been on a few Tyler tracks, and I think, I mean, you can point the reason why Tyler probably works with him is because Tyler is such you know, he's the child of the Neptunes, so that makes perfect sense.
All right, we got our first Uncle Charlie appearance on the show. All right, let's see. Okay, song number 4 for me is going. Okay.
Step my money fast and go.
Woo!
Yeah. So, you know, we're going versus style here, right? And I feel like watching all the verses, one of the key strategy points is if you got a Beyonce record, you got to drop it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the big Joker. Like,
it is.
It's going to help push you, you know, if you want to win, quote unquote, win the verse, you got a Beyonce record, you got to drop it. And so that's one of the reasons why this is on there. But I just generally like the song. And I like that. Like, I mean, the stunt to drop the album with this as a lead single, with the video being super crazy juxtaposition of we ball and we rich, we luxurious, we in the Louvre, but we posing in front of, you know, this art that we got more money than what this art, the Mona Lisa, right? This symbolism in the video. Like, I mean, we could also talk about the Migos reference and like Jay-Z and Beyonce song that's got Migos writing credits and ad-libs is like, huh?
It's crazy. Once again, Jay-Z being a revolutionary.
Yeah. And so I saw a dude named Hovain tweeted the other day that the Carter's album is criminally slept on. It's Beyonce and Jay-Z. How y'all not playing this album? And I agree with that. Like, what are your thoughts?
I absolutely agree. That was another album that I spent a lot of the time in the pandemic actually just bumping it back to back because it's really good. I think because like the personal shit people felt about their relationship, I think that's why it didn't get as much play as it deserved. But I mean, go back to it because it's really dope.
Right. Definitely. I definitely know people who, when that came out, just couldn't enjoy it as much as I did in that moment because they were like, whoa, he still cheated on her.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that, but like, this music is really good. This music is really good. Like, I'm not asking Jay-Z for marriage advice. I'm just saying, like, the reality is, if Beyonce's cool, then like, what are we really? You're gonna deprive yourself of enjoying this great music because you got a grudge that his wife don't even have? Like,
that's none of my damn business.
That's none of my business. It's none of my business. So, you know, I think, like you said, that whole album, and it's short and sweet. It's to the point. You know, it's got a couple of Neptune songs on there. I think one of my favorite songs on the album, the title bonus track, Summer is the first song. The bonus track is Salute. And those bars on that go crazy, produced by Cool and Dre. So yeah, overall, I love that album. I think I think Ape Shit was definitely a big moment. And I have video of, okay, so today is the day after my birthday. I have a video of my birthday 3 years ago, being ratchet and reckless in the club, singing Ape Shit with like eight friends and loving the moment. So big song, big record, gotta drop the Beyonce Big Joker. Now it's on you.
Dope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, another RNG song. I think it's kind of funny that by virtue of working with Snoop, he sings about weed so much and he doesn't smoke, doesn't drink. That was just something I took personal joy in. But I love Let's Get Blown. I have like a
Drinks. Now listen, he drinks because he was
does
on champs. He was drunk on Drink Champs.
Okay, yeah. But another cool thing I found out about this song was the vocals are Keisha Cole's vocals. In some places, it's credited to Vanessa Marquez, but that's not Vanessa Marquez's voice.
Yeah,
So she goes uncredited on there, but shout out to Keisha. Yeah, adding on to like that pimp image that Snoop was building around that time. Just a really good, easy, fun song.
a lot of dope songs on that album.
Yeah.
Definitely heavy rotation. I guess when that came out, that was probably my freshman year at Hampton. All right, let's see. We're on song number. Friend is self-explanatory, right?
Yeah.
4 Count P, check. Again, Clone's album, we said we'll talk more about this in depth. In terms of the Hove collaboration, this is an unusually short but still classic Hove verse, right? Like he does what he got to do in the video. He's lounging, like this is so effortless, right? Like, and does his thing. Now this and the timing of when this came out is clearly a subliminal love letter to Beyonce, without it. Like, this is after Excuse Me Miss and after Bonnie and Clyde, and this is even after Crazy in Love. So this was easily like, come on, dog, like,
yeah,
up front. We already know what this is. Know what you're talking about. Again, of course, we should probably make it a thing that we have to drink every time we talk about Drink Champs on here. But one of the highlights of Pharrell's episode of Drink Champs was him talking about how he tried to give front and the Prince, and just thinking about what that would sound like, how would the song be different? I think the biggest question for the sake of this discussion is, if that's a Prince song, do we still get Jay on it? And it's like, I don't know, like that sounds like it could be amazing, or it sounds like it could be totally terrible. But I would have liked to see it.
Same.
I would have liked to see it, one, be a Prince song, but two, be a Prince record featuring Jay-Z. Like, that would have been huge.
Yeah. Missed opportunity for sure. Now that is my favorite Neptune song of all time, and maybe one of my favorite songs of all time. So I picked the wrong person, man.
There's no wrong answers here, man. There's no wrong answers.
It's all good music. But actually, I may have lied. This may be my favorite Neptune song of all time. What can I say about Beautiful that hasn't already been said? Because it is an iconic song, iconic video in Brazil. They won for Producer of the Year, non-classical that year, 2003. This is on the Pay the Cost to Be the Boss album. Another feature from Uncle Charlie. A guy I liked made this my ringtone back in 2004. It was a great moment for the kid.
Yes. Similar energy for high school Vogue and Vaughn, right? It was a girl who I was dating when I was in 11th grade, who I will think about every time I hear the song, and it, like, because it was a big deal. I'm not gonna name names. My friends that are listening will know who I'm talking about, but she was one of those people that I felt like was out of my league. And so to reach up and to step my level up was a big deal. And part of it had to do with me putting this song on a CD that I gave to her. Bam.
Love it. I love a mixtape.
That was my thing. I was the king of that. I was one of the first people, I mean, I'm not trying to get arrested, but I was one of the first people that in my circle that had the CD burner hookup. So yeah, that's definitely one of the best top 5 Neptune songs of all time. No question about it.
Absolutely.
All right. Only a couple more left. It's starting to get a little bit more predictable about where things are going. So here we go.
Let's go. Ho!
So I think this was the song that really launched the relationship, I think, in the right direction. You know, it's got that very important branding piece for the Neptunes. Make you bling like the Neptunes sound, like that's a big deal. Again, the blueprint, Pharrell on the hook, Jay-Z doing his thing with the verses. You know, for me personally, this was one of those songs, along with Big Pimpin', that helped me perfect my Dame Dash bottle dance shoulder shake. And the funny thing about it, I did some research and they said the original planned first single was Parking Lot Pimpin', but like they had some, like, I don't remember who it was. Somebody from State Property helped them with the hook, and they just had it, but they couldn't find the right beat for it until they heard this. And then once they made it, everyone loved it. And they were like, no, we need to switch the single to this, which is like obviously the right decision, right? Like this is one of the most famous Jay-Z songs, one of the, you know, Neptune songs coming out in their ascension into superstardom. Video was awesome. Cameos from all the people that you would think to see in a video in 2000, 2001. Fun fact though, here's our second 2 episodes and we got 2 Rick James references, because apparently the hook is an interpolation of lyrics from Rick James's Give It To Me. He's like, give me that funk that's not the, like I'm just like, maybe we should try to fit a Rick James reference into every episode somehow. James, can't say it enough. Funk legend. All right, it's the last song. Here we go.
Y'all know what this song is. I don't even have to tell you.
Judge.
The biggest collaboration between Snoop and the Neptunes to date. Billboard named this song the most popular rap song of the decade. That's how huge the song was. I have a clear memory of like riding around in college. Listen, this song came out in 2004. The tongue clicks. It sounds like a straw. I had never heard that sound before when I heard this song. And this was also Snoop's first single to reach #1. So he had been out since 1993. So for it to take until like a whole decade later for him to have a #1 single is crazy. And it's crazy they did it with the Neptunes. And it's actually Pharrell's biggest hit until you get around the 2013 Get Lucky Blur Lines era. Also important culturally, this is where Snoop's Izzle age starts. Everyone adopts the Izzle speak. It's in comedy, like white people are using it. Song goes crazy.
My fond memories of this song, like I mentioned earlier when we played Let's Get Blown, like this album being out when I was a freshman in college, and me and my boy Justin, shout out to Justin Tinsley, your favorite writer's favorite writer. We always talk about how our experience at Hampton University, one of the best things about it was having all these Black people together from different parts of the country, and how everyone brought their musical regional sounds with them.
Yeah.
How it was important for the DJs to understand that and be able to cycle through them at all these events and parties that we were going to. And remembering how this song in particular and this album and that relationship between Snoop and the Neptunes helped me to really build some lifelong friendships with people from Cali. Like shout out to my boy B-Rob. That's one of our boys. That's actually who me and Justin were talking about this too. is like freshman year, you don't really know a lot of people, you know a couple people, but to be able to have a song like this where the relationship between Snoop and the Neptunes is symbolizing this connection between Virginia and California, like that was a big deal. And that helped me connect with a lot of my Cali homies. That album, and then, you know, as other Cali music came out at that time that was really big at that time, it was definitely a way to help connect people. As music brings people together, right? So like this specific, and especially that song, because the song was so huge, and it was just like, you know that Snoop is from Cali, maybe you know the Neptunes are from Virginia, but everybody loves the song.
Yeah.
So just that being a big time moment for me, that's a huge part of my college experience, that song in particular.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All right. My last song. And I really wanted to play that song last because, one, Jay-Z said it himself in the past. This was at certain points in his life, this was his favorite song. And, you know, I think the reasons for that is because he gets to be his introspective self, but it's a song that people still love. Like, you have the best of both worlds. You got this awesome production from the Neptunes. And, you know, and if for people that are fans and have been to concerts of Jay-Z, when this song comes on, you can tell the real from the fake, right? Like this is not a single that everyone knows. This is a very impactful, deep album cut that the real fans love. And that's something that, you know, Pharrell's talked about too, is like wanting to bring this emotion out of Jay-Z. Yeah, you got I Just Want to Love You, which we just played, right? And you have those types of songs that they've worked on, but this is something different. Like he wants to really, it was important for Pharrell to get into that bag, that Jay-Z bag, where he's talking about his past and talking about, you know, who he really is and what it looks like to be Jay-Z and all these demons that he fights. You know, and of course they mentioned the reference to Carlito's Way, the movie, and how Pharrell used that to pitch that beat and that concept to Jay and Fade to Black movie, which is one of the most important pivotal moments in that whole documentary. So yeah, this is definitely, I think, one of the top songs for people who are true Jay-Z fans.
Yeah. So also funny thinking about it, like the Black Album, we thought we were about to lose Jay as an influencer, so like in the rap community. So, you know, when I was in high school, I was starting all my mornings off with the Black Album, and this was my favorite track on the album. So I have a huge heart for this song. It like brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah, and at the time, like when you're thinking about he's saying he's retiring, this is a perfect song. That's like I'm out.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we've done our top 7. Congratulations, I think you did a great job. You know,
same to you.
Are there any songs that you had a hard time with? Like, what's your 2, 3, 4 songs that are right there in the 8, 9, 10 slot that we could have, if you had more time, you would have brought out?
Okay. On that list, I have another R&G song, obviously, Perfect. I don't think a lot of people think about Perfect when they're thinking about Snoop Dogg and Neptune songs, but that's a banger. It's got the 4 count. It's got a fucking organ on it.
Yes. Beautiful part too.
Yeah, and it's like some of the smoothest Charlie Wilson lines you'll ever get. When God made you, I wonder if you kept the mold. Or if it was just for show. And I also had on my list From the Paid the Cost to Be the Boss album, From the Church to the Palace.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
To follow up on our conversation about the retirement part.
Yeah.
I had on here his verse on Slim Thug's I Ain't Heard of That.
Ooh.
Was like one of the first times we heard him come back after retirement. We're like, this man ain't retired. Like, what are you doing? Like, Hov in his button up, but I'm still cutting up. Like, what? Like, you, come on, man. Stop playing with me. I'm retired. I also got So Ambitious. That's like a personal meaning. It came out when I was like in the trenches in grad school, whatever the trenches are for somebody that's in grad school. Just going, needing some extra push sometimes. Oceans, I think, is underrated. Frank Ocean doing his thing as usual. but I think that gets lost because there's some really, really big records on Magna Carta.
Yeah.
And then I got Nice because, like I said, Carter's album, Everything Is Love, is very underrated. I think the Neptune songs on there are strong. I mean, Ho's verse on Nice is just absolutely ridiculous. And
Yeah.
Beyonce's verse is just as ridiculous. I mean, again, with our conversation we had earlier about that album, Nice is easily one of the best songs on the album too.
Everybody type, goddamn right. Actually, on a personal note, I want to say, I think so around the time that Blueprint 3 came out was when you and I were hanging out a lot. You had just moved to DC to go to grad school.
Yes.
And I think that's when we realized that we both love the Neptunes in the way that we do.
Yep.
So that song specifically reminds me of you.
Mm-hmm. That is a huge part of that time period in life. And that song in particular was just kind of like where we were at with it. We were just trying to figure it out post undergrad graduation and just trying to get it. And, you know, the good thing about So Ambitious is it talks about, you know, you got challenges, you got haters, and just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Ambitious, I'm gonna get it done. So obviously we could go on. We could have done a ton more songs.
So many.
But
I felt like that was a nice collection. The playlist is gonna bang, so y'all are in luck this week.
Definitely hit us up if there's songs that we left off for either of these legendary artists. I think probably Snoop has more, like in totality.
Yeah.
Snoop, I mean, both of them, the ones that they have are all, for the most part, all of them are very strong. Like,
yeah,
if you coming out with, I think there's songs that we played today, there's at least 5 songs that we played today that are probably top 20 Neptune songs, period, out of their 700, 800 songs.
Without question.
All right, Joe. Well, here we go.
Oh,
It's the
that was fun.
This was versus battle. Like, everybody wins. There's no wrong answers, like I said.
Everybody wins when you listen to the Neptunes.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Check us out. Next episode will be out soon. Not going to tell you when or what it's about because that's the whole point of this. And check us out. Follow us on socials. And yeah, make sure to subscribe and like the SoundCloud page so you can get that notification when the episode drops. But again, appreciate your support. And we will check you out next Neptune Sunday.
Peace out, everybody.
All right, peace and love.